Hello students, it's Mrs. Swannie. Today I'm going to make a screencast for you about the proper way to punctuate quotations, since I know some of you are still having a little bit of trouble and might need a visual and audio reminder. Here we go. The first thing I need to do when I'm trying to correctly punctuate a quotation is figure out which words are actually being spoken. So I'm looking at this sentence here, and it says, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long," my best friend suggested. It looks as though the actual spoken words were, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long." So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take those words and embrace them in quotations. So as you can see, I took those words and went ahead and put those in quotations. But I'm not done yet. I need to go ahead and set off my quotation from the rest of the sentence by inserting a comma, almost like a natural pause. Notice that it is put inside the quotation, as though the quotation is hugging the comma inside. So I'm looking at my sentence, and it's almost done, but I'm noticing that my sentence does not have end punctuation, and we know that's a no-no. So, since I've already finished punctuating this sentence, I'm going to go here and add a period. So this sentence, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long," my best friend suggested, is now properly punctuated. But what happens if the sentence doesn't start with a quotation? Let's take that same sentence and reword it. So I've taken the same sentence and reworded it. And again, like I did in the first example, I have to figure out which words are the exact words being spoken. So in this sentence, my best friend suggested, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long." I'm thinking that his actual words are, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long." So those are the ones I'm going to enclose in quotations. Now it looks something like this. But I'm not done yet. I need to make sure that the reader knows to take a natural pause before they start reading the quotation. So in order to do that, I need to add a comma. In addition to adding the comma, I have to capitalize the first letter of the quotation. So as you can see, I've changed the lowercase l to a capital. So now my properly punctuated sentence reads like this. My best friend suggested, "Let's grab a pizza and play video games all night long." Okay, we have one more. What happens when the quotation is split up? Let's take a look at one of those. As in the other two examples, I have to go ahead, read the sentence, and figure out what are the exact words being spoken. "What do you want to do?" he asked, "once we're finished with dinner." So notice that this is directly spoken. "He asked" is telling the reader who spoke. And then the quotation goes ahead and finishes off here, "once we're finished with dinner." This one's a little tricky. So let's go ahead and set off those spoken words with quotations as we did in the other examples. So I went ahead and put those quotation marks in. "What do you want to do?" he asked, "once we're finished with dinner." Notice that this is actually one whole sentence. If I were to take "he asked" out, it's simply a spoken quotation. So when we punctuate this one, the second part, or the quotation tag, will not be capitalized. So it's almost done, but not quite. You have to go with that natural pause and setting off that quotation from the rest of the sentence. Notice how this gets a little trickier. "What do you want to do?" comma quotation. "He asked," comma quotation, "once we're finished with dinner." Now, it's almost done, but again, I'm noticing that there's no end punctuation here. I'm going to go back and figure out what kind of end punctuation it can have. What do you want to do? He asked. That's my clue. Once we're finished with dinner. I think that's a question, and I know that a question ends with a question mark. So I went ahead and inserted a question mark inside the quotations. Notice that the quotations hug those commas and other end punctuation in. And that is a screencast on how to punctuate quotations.